Have you ever heard me say what you focus on expands? Well, today we are going to be focusing on the actions you can take to expand your manifestation by making sure you are observing what you're focused on. Welcome to day 17 of the Mindful Momentum Challenge. I'm so excited to have this conversation, guys, because this is something I feel like is a little soapbox for me. I consistently talk about where your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. And I also continuously talk about what you focus on expands. I don't think we realize how important focus is when it comes to manifesting the desires of your life. So today we're going to be recognizing and looking at ways to discover and build upon the subtle signs of manifestation. We're always manifesting, whether we recognize it as actual manifestation, we're always creating. So if you don't want to use the word manifestation, we're always in creation mode. We are naturally creators. And as such, since we're always in that mode, you're either doing it deliberately or you're doing it in a default way. And we don't want to be in the default mode because that means you're not necessarily guiding or controlling the way your manifestations appear in your life. So, how do we go about actually seeing the subtle nuances, the subtle signs, the little steps that are showing us that we are on our way towards whatever it is we are creating? I call them breadcrumbs because if you remember that story about Hansel and Gretel, and it was the breadcrumbs that they followed to find their way back home. I think it's how the story they go. Don't mark my words on it. But you get what I'm saying. These breadcrumbs of manifestation are the things that you're going to be looking for in your everyday life to see your manifestation come to life a little at a time. Most times people think you're looking for these grand gestures. You're looking for the magical money to fall from heaven like manna, or you're waiting for the big paycheck to show up in your account. So many times you hear of the story that they tell about Jim Carrey and his 10,000, or was it 10 million? His $10 million check that he wrote to himself as a way to invest in his self-belief. And that's the same $10 million that he got later on for doing, I think, Dumb and Dumber. What I wanted to talk about today is, well, what is happening before you get to that $10 million check? There are so many different signs that help us to recognize that we are on our way to the big thing that we're creating, but we oftentimes miss it. In the same way, when you think about missing the subtle signs, if you are also focusing on the things that aren't going right in a way that says that you don't have it, or you're in a scarcity space or a space of lack, that too will slow down the momentum of getting closer to the thing that you are trying to create in your life. The first principle that I'm going to share with you is about being an observer. This is a lesson that I learned several years ago when reading one of my different books. I think I was actually reading Michael Singer's book, Untethered Soul. And it was just talking about just the way that we observe ourselves. And I recall really thinking to myself that I don't oftentimes observe enough in my life. I'm just so busy going. And so the action that we're going to take is one that it will help you to get closer to your manifestation, but it's through observation. It's not through doing a whole bunch of anything. You're just going to be observing your life naturally unfolding and seeing how sometimes some magical things are happening and you can't even put your finger on exactly why it's happening. When you think about being an observer, that's where I want you to look at what you focus on expands, because when you learn to observe the small signs, you naturally amplify them. When you observe little things happening in your life, it's the same thing with gratitude. You observe the things that you feel grateful for. It gives your energetic level a boost. So that's why I also say where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you are paying attention to the feel-good things, to the things that are positively impacting you, to the things that are making you feel good on a level that is above and beyond what you expected. Maybe you're having a horrible day, a horrible week, a horrible month, for some of us, a horrible year. But you take a moment to be grateful and you just automatically feel that shift on the inside. Well, imagine if you were doing that more consistently, even daily. You'd be looking for the beautiful little instances in your life that are showing you that life is on your side. And this helps to not only create a proper flow of energy, but it helps to build your faith and your belief in yourself that you can create the life that you want. So this is where you are also going to start to nurture the context of preparation meeting opportunity. So I used to think about luck as, yeah, man, you're lucky, you got this thing and this worked out for you, and it was just amazing, completely coincidence. I no longer believe that. I believe that success leaves clues. Every big manifestation starts with small signs. I remember I was reading a book by Florence Scofield Shinn, and she was talking about one of her clients that was looking to manifest or to create the receiving of a beautiful china set. And she was doing all her prayers and supplication about receiving this beautiful china set. And then somebody went to an antique fair and bought her an old china plate that was cracked, but it was, a really beautiful plate, old china. And so she goes to Florence and she says, "But Florence, I'm here trying to manifest this amazing china set. And somebody bring me this old tired plate." And Florence had to say to her, "Well, look, honey child, you are actually seeing signs of your future manifestation coming to you. So celebrate it. Celebrate the fact that you got this beautiful, although old and cracked plate. And this must be a sign that your beautiful set, your china set, is down the path." Now, I know for some of you, you may be thinking, well, boy, Stacey, sometimes when the bills are piled up and, you really need the $5,000 and you only get 100, it doesn't feel the same. But I would want to challenge you to look at things differently. Focus on the fact that you are receiving as opposed to not getting the exact amount that you want. All it can do is help to build up your energy and help you to even create opportunities for you to receive that 5,000 that you're actually offered. What it will do is it will help you to create opportunities to feel grateful and have that feel good energy around gratitude for the $100 so that you will be able to get closer to that $5,000 through amplifying that energy. Another point that I wanted to make sure that you guys are paying attention to is that we seem to think of miracles happening in our lives and things that are unexpected taking place, that these things are once in a lifetime and that, it's not the natural way. But that's really not true. In every single book that you have read, including the Bible, it talks about the fact that we deserve all good things. And so while it may not be coming to you all at one time in an avalanche, you are on a path towards the greatness that you actually deserve. And if you stand in that knowing and stand in the assumption that my life should be great, my life should be showing up in a way that says you are blessed, you are wonderful, you have the desires of your heart at your fingertips. If we lived with that assumption, if we lived with that knowing, then we would be better able to create much more of the things we want in our lives. We'd be aligned with the type of actions that we're supposed to take, and the persons who we're supposed to meet are just coming across our paths without us having to do major orchestration. This is the natural way of our lives unfolding. And so we need to stop acting like we're surprised when these magical manifestations happen. We are supposed to be standing in our greatness, and we should be accepting good things as normal and expected. Now, not saying that you're not going to celebrate, no, it's wonderful to celebrate, but we really should be able to maintain steady energy rather than having these big peaks when things are going great and then having these very low crashes when things aren't going as we would like them to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually train ourselves to start observing and taking note of the small breadcrumbs of manifestation that are lighting the pathway towards whatever big grand thing we are creating for our lives. So I want you to take a minute and just think of something that you're currently working on manifesting, something that you're currently seeking to create in your life. When you think of that big thing, write it down And then what I want you to do next is I want you to list all of the small things that are happening in your life that could potentially be leading you to this grand manifestation. Ways that you can do that is you can start to look at something that could potentially be a stepping stone to the grand gesture, something that could be a lesson that you could learn to help you to remove something from your life that could be blocking this amazing thing from coming to fruition. Feel grateful for the small things. And if you can't foster the feeling, all you got to do, guys, is write down, I am grateful for ... whatever it is you are saying you're grateful for. So I think, guys, if you take the time and just look at the big thing that you're trying to manifest, and then look around your life, look around your day-to-day and see the small things that are happening that are taking you closer to creating this amazing thing that you are manifesting. It will make a huge difference in your energy and where your attention is going to go. So what you focus on expands. So I just explained the challenge. My challenge for you is to create an observation list for your manifestation. You can call it manifestation observation. You can call it manifestation observation breadcrumbs. Put at the top of that list the big thing that you're creating, and then start writing down small things that you can notice that are propelling you closer towards your amazing creation. Thank you so much for joining today, guys. All the best on your magical manifestation journey. I'm so excited to hear the stories about what you are creating. Take care.